China convicts American activist Harry Wu of spying and throws him out of the country. The Farm Belt Führer, an American neo-Nazi, is about to be sent to Germany, where he's charged with peddling hate. And Eye on America. Tonight, Blue Heaven, a haven for Mark Fuhrman and other cops who've had it with LA's mean streets.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening. Dan is off tonight. I'm John Roberts. An American human rights activist was tried, sentenced, then expelled from China today. CBS News has learned that a message from President Clinton to the Chinese leadership carried by California Senator Dianne Feinstein was crucial in closing the case of Harry Wu. Wu is on his way home to California tonight. The next step could be a high-profile visit to China by First Lady Hillary Clinton. White House correspondent Bill Plant, who broke the story of Wu's trial on this broadcast last night, begins our report.
Before the Chinese expelled Harry Wu, they televised his sentencing, 15 years in prison on charges of espionage. The judge lectured and humiliated Wu, an apparent effort to discredit him and also remind the U.S. exactly how China feels about Wu's brand of human rights activism. In California, a relieved Ching Li Wu was quick to credit the administration with getting her husband released.
What do you think was the greatest factor in gaining his release?
I think the United States government really did a lot of things to make it. I think so.
But the U.S. government is a bit touchy at the moment about just what it did to help free Harry Wu. A White House statement welcomed China's decision to expel Wu, saying this action removes an obstacle to improving relations between the United States and China. The Chinese will likely read that as diplomatic code endorsing a visit by the First Lady. It is widely assumed that Hillary Rodham Clinton will attend the United Nations Conference on Women now that Wu is out. But the administration vehemently insists that there was no quid pro quo and denies it had any advance knowledge of Wu's release.
No, we did not. No. I mean, we knew that the trial was taking place, but there has been, to the best of my knowledge, no deal or anything the way that you describe it.
Maybe not, but both governments know the next move without ever even having to talk. China wants the First Lady to come, and she wants to be there. So she will go. Expect an announcement after a decent interval, say a day or two, that Hillary Rodham Clinton will be packing her bags for Beijing in September. Bill Plant, CBS News, Jackson Hole.
This is David Martin at the State Department. The arrest of Harry Wu, American citizen and human rights activist, had become a symbol of the deterioration in relations between the U.S. and China. But it was not the cause.
Harry Wu's case is important as a human being, but I don't think it's at the basis of our relationship, and I think it distracts us from the very fundamental problems we've got to work on with China.
Like human rights, symbolized most vividly by the massacre in Tiananmen Square. Pictures of Harry Wu under interrogation highlighted the human rights problem, but his expulsion does not solve it.
Almost all rights are violated quite extensively in China. From the most minimal rights to not be tortured, to not be jailed unfairly, all the way up to the right to free speech.
If Americans were outraged by China's human rights record, the Chinese were just as outraged when the administration allowed the president of Taiwan to come to the U.S. The Chinese saw that as a repudiation of an American policy which recognizes only one China, mainland China.
This is a relationship that is very, very complicated. There are a lot of very contentious issues on the table. Increasingly, there is an atmosphere of mistrust surrounding the relationship.
A summit meeting between the American and Chinese presidents might be one way of clearing the air. And with the Harry Wu case out of the way, that now seems possible.
Most experts believe the expulsion will at least halt the downhill slide in relations. But the fundamental problem seems to be that neither the U.S. nor China can make up its mind whether the other is going to be a long-term ally or adversary. David Martin, CBS News, the State Department.
An American Nazi may be on his way to Germany soon to face trial for hate crimes. The Supreme Court of Denmark today cleared the way for the extradition of Gary Lauck. No date was set. He could get up to 5 years in prison for spreading racist propaganda. Barry Peterson reports.
American neo-Nazi Gary Lauck was defiant even in defeat. Questioned in English, he answered in German. The fight goes on. But the Danish Supreme Court extradition order means his fight now goes to Germany. That's just fine with the Danes. He may be little known in America, but in Europe, he's considered a dangerous neo-Nazi cult hero. At a demonstration last weekend in Denmark, his name was the rallying cry. This, say authorities, is what Gary Lauck can inspire. He was visiting fellow neo-Nazis in their Danish hideout when CBS News caught up with him for his last interview before police arrested him on a German warrant.
The Jews are the enemies of the white race. They are trying to exterminate us.
He's known as the Farm Belt Führer because he lives in Nebraska, sports a Hitler mustache, and uses a make-believe German accent.
Hello, I am Gerhard Lauck, head of the NSDAP-AO.
The hatred, though, is real. In America, he produced reams of neo-Nazi hate literature protected by the First Amendment, literature he mailed into Germany where such material is illegal. Then, say German authorities, he went high-tech, using computers to message supporters on how to make bombs and incite violence. Getting Lauck behind bars, said a German prosecutor tonight, will greatly reduce neo-Nazi propaganda flowing into Germany. A world of violence and hate is what Gary Lauck is peddling. But the Farm Belt Führer's world may soon shrink to the size of a German prison cell.
White power.
Barry Peterson, CBS News, London.
Still to come on the CBS Evening News, what's behind the wildest hurricane season in history? And a mother who lost her family in the Oklahoma City bombing gets an unusual second chance.
When your little ones get a little out of control, just reach for a Dust Devil cordless vac. It's perfect for quick pickups on any hard surface, even in corners. The Dust Devil cordless. Cute little devil, isn't it?
New Polar Pizza from Baskin-Robbins. Ordinary pizza was never this cool.
Mama was a genius. When we ask people to guess the name of our special line of cereals from Kellogg's.
I got it. Mega Flake Pleasers. Sweet Honey Bonanza.
No matter which delicious kind they tried, no one guessed they were a healthy choice.
I love this stuff.
Maybe they were surprised by so much baked-in flavor. Whole grains touched with honey, cinnamon, or brown sugar. Okay. Healthy choice cereals from Kellogg's.
Healthy choice. Fine. It really doesn't matter what it's called. The taste will sell it.
From Aaron to Felix to Umberto to Jerry, if you think we've seen more storms than usual this year, you're right. Right now, there are 2 hurricanes brewing in the Atlantic and blowing our way. And whatever name you give it, this new weather trend spells trouble, as we hear from correspondent Diana Gonzalez.
The remains of Tropical Storm Jerry have been drenching the state of Florida. Some areas, like Port St. Lucie, have gotten more than 10 inches of rain in the past 24 hours. But that's not why Jerry is a record breaker. It's the 10th named storm of 95, making this the most active hurricane season in history.
Well, this is a season I think I'll tell my grandchildren about. This is certainly busier than anything I've ever seen here.
Meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center are currently tracking half a dozen threatening weather systems.
A very strong tropical wave in the eastern part of the Atlantic, Hurricane Umberto, Hurricane Iris.
By comparison, when historic Hurricane Andrew made landfall 3 years ago today, Andrew was the first named storm of the 92 season. There have been 10 by the same date this year. It comes as no surprise to Professor William Gray of Colorado State University, who has predicted more frequent and more destructive hurricanes.
So this is a rather ominous outlook for the future. I personally feel that hurricanes are the greatest natural threat facing the U.S.
There are several reasons for the unusual storm activity: increased rainfall over West Africa, a warmer than usual Atlantic Ocean, westerly winds over the equator, and a diminished El Nino, decreasing the winds that inhibit hurricanes.
If you think the past 2.5 months have been active, forecasters warn the peak of the hurricane season just got underway, and that peak lasts through mid-October. Diana Gonzalez, CBS News, Miami.
The bombing in Oklahoma City left us with many images. One of the most poignant, a young mother weeping for her 2 children killed in the blast. Today, that young woman was given a unique gift, a chance to transform that tragedy into new hope and a new family. Scott Pelley reports.
In the minutes after the bomb, Edie Smith knew her family and her future were gone.
That's when my mom said, "Oh my God, the babies." The police were already starting to push people away. I just knew then that my kids were dead.
2-year-old Colton, 3-year-old Chase were in the daycare center. Their mother had visited there often. She was happy with 2 children and had her tubes tied after Colton was born.
I'm 23 years old, and to wake up every day and think, wow, I can't have kids. You know, mine are gone and I can't ever have any more.
Yesterday, she came to an Austin hospital for a chance to be a mother again. An artist who had painted her children as angels introduced her to a doctor who could help.
After tomorrow, things are going to be different.
Today, things are different. The operation to reconnect her fallopian tubes was a success, and at the hospital, there was no charge.
Edie came into the operating room smiling and enthusiastic, and she left the exact same way.
Even before the bombing, Edie had lost part of her family. She was divorced in December. Now she and her ex-husband Tony are together again and will remarry. This time, she says, she wants 8 children. They cannot replace the son she lost, but Edie says, "I believe in eternity. I'll see them again." Scott Pelley, CBS News, Dallas.
When I was young, Mom was always making sure I ate right.
It wasn't always easy.
Well, now we're listening to our doctors and taking better care of our health with Ensure.
Ensure is recommended #1 by doctors as a source of complete balanced nutrition.
More than a vitamin supplement, Ensure has all the nutrients adults need to help stay healthy, active, be energetic.
Drink Ensure as a meal.
Or in between, Ensure. To your health, Mom.
To our health.
Ensure. Doctors recommend it #1.
My new denture adhesive is Polygrip free. It is free of artificial flavors and it's free of artificial colors. Polygrip free holds my dentures tight. I can enjoy more of my favorite foods. Polygrip free.
I can't fall asleep.
I can't stay asleep. Try Nitol Quick Caps to fall asleep fast and get a good night's sleep. Get Nitol Quick Caps.
Nitol will help you get yours ease.
If I am what I eat, I'd like to be a Nature Valley granola bar. You know, a true original. Basic, wholesome, rough around the edges, but slightly sweet. Sometimes loud, and always totally irresistible. Yeah, I'd be a Nature Valley granola bar, all right. And people everywhere could think of me as the candy bar nature intended.
Have trouble getting a good night's sleep? Millions do, but there may be hope.
It was a deeper sleep, so that when I awoke in the morning, I certainly felt refreshed even, not a bit groggy.
Melatonin, it may be the answer, but how safe is it, and how much should you take? Results of a new study tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
The Clinton administration has begun an investigation of the tire industry. Something about tire prices recently has caught the government's eye. Correspondent Jim Stewart has our report.
4 times in the past 18 months, the nation's major tire manufacturers have increased prices. Is it coincidence or price fixing? Today, the Justice Department said it intends to find out.
I can't really describe in detail the investigation other than to say it is an industry-wide review of anti-competitive practices.
Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company first disclosed the probe in a quarterly report and said it is cooperating fully. Other tire companies responded similarly. The news shocked industry analysts who say it's been a slow year for tire makers, with fewer new cars requiring tires and sales even more sluggish for replacements.
It just seems silly that someone would talk about price fixing in a situation like that.
Still, the price for a standard-size radial tire has jumped from $79 last year to $89 and higher this year. Manufacturers argue the reason for that is simple. The cost of rubber and other raw goods has gone up for them, and the analysts agree.
It's not like these guys are making a ton of money because they've been raising prices. They're struggling to keep up with skyrocketing raw material prices.
Still, it's buyers who pay the difference in the end, and the question now is whether the price they've been paying is what the market bears or what the manufacturers secretly agreed on. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
The Agriculture Department today issued new rules on the labeling of packaged poultry. The rules say chicken and other poultry can no longer be labeled fresh if they've ever been frozen to a temperature below 26 degrees. Consumer advocates say shoppers have been paying more for poultry they had believed was fresh, but wasn't. The new rules take effect next year. Flocks of chickens appeared to freeze in their tracks today when 3,000 of them were dumped from an overturned tractor-trailer onto a Virginia highway. Troopers scrambled to stash the squawking cargo back in their crates, but some of the chickens did manage to cross the road and get away.
It happens in the hospital. It happens at home. When heartburn flares up, hospitals turn to fast-acting Maalox. Hospitals can count on it for speed. And that's just what you need. Maalox, the fast choice for hospitals, the fast choice for home.
Everybody has morning breath. Unfortunately, not everybody has scope.
As sure as the sun will rise across America, the families that travel will have one common need: to be safe. So it's no surprise that America's favorite full-size car has also been honored for safety. That's according to Prevention Magazine, which gave LeSabre the Safe Car Achievement Award in the full-size category. Buick LeSabre, the American family car.
The new advanced walker from Easy Spirit conforms to your foot, so you don't have to conform to anything. Test walk the Inspiration. Inside's your own personal walking shoe. Outside's the whole world.
The coffee perking in this pot is America's best loved coffee.
As long as liberty is alive and well.
Nearly 4,000 of us have marched from the city limits.
As long as lighthouses shine. And there are lessons to be learned.
Father Knows Best has been brought to you by Maxwell House Coffee.
Just as long as the tide turns, Maxwell House will always be good to the last drop. Good things have a way of lasting.
A deadly drug is back. Heroin hooked Jerry Garcia. It killed this mother of two. Is someone you know next? 48 hours tonight.
The judge was off, so no testimony today in the O.J. Simpson trial, which could soon turn into the Mark Fuhrman trial. Fuhrman, meanwhile, is trying to stay as far away from the case as possible. He's followed other former cops into retirement, hundreds of miles from Los Angeles. John Blackstone takes you to their own private Idaho in tonight's Eye on America.
It has already been dubbed Blue Heaven, not because of the water or the sky, but because so many policemen from Los Angeles have chosen to retire here in the panhandle of northern Idaho. They now form a brotherhood of sorts in exile.
Because the lifestyles that we led while we were officers, we all look for the types of places where we can change that lifestyle and go into a less chaotic, rapid, rushed pace.
By some estimates, as many as 100 former LAPD officers have settled here. But when Mark Fuhrman retired and followed the well-worn trail north earlier this year, all the controversy and stress seemed to come along with him. Ever since the Rodney King beating and the riots that followed, it's been a tough few years for LA cops. Instead of getting thanks, many say, they get blamed.
There was a lot of bitter attitudes that came out of that. There was a lot of resentment buildup that
the people of the city of Los Angeles didn't back their police officers.
It hurts bad. It really does.
It hurts.
It still hurts our pride, and I've been gone since '85. It hurts my pride a lot. I worked hard. I was very proud of saying I was a Los Angeles police officer.
That Mark Furman has now moved up among these forests and lakes has made life a bit more complicated for the community of former LAPD officers here. They now find themselves being asked if this out-of-the-way corner of the country is a haven for racists.
I've been up here 20 years. I've known a lot of officers. I don't know a single one of them that is racist or that was motivated to come up here because of racist sympathies.
Furman's new neighbors are now waiting to hear his tapes.
Well, who's on trial here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is on trial? Furman? The police department? Nope. Somebody accused of murdering 2 people. Vicious murder.
If it weren't for the OJ trial, up here I would forget about Los Angeles.
Retired Detective Gail Coots now thinks about things like the baking contest at the county fair.
That's my pie.
Still, she worries Furman's tapes will make life harder for the friends she left behind.
I didn't think anything could hurt the department more than the Rodney King incident.
And now this.
And now this.
Who's doing more to inflame racial tensions right now, Mark Furman or Johnny Cochran?
Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cochran.
No doubt in my mind, they're playing the race card here. And it's white against black, and that's brought on by that defense team.
Sure.
And that's a shame.
I'd really like to blame the defense team, but I can't. Furman has to take the blame for the tapes. And we, retired and sworn officers, have to live with it.
But those still patrolling the streets in L.A. will have to cope with the likely fallout of the Furman tapes. A further decline in respect for the police, and more cops deciding they've had enough.
The officers are leaving at an extraordinary rate, so they're up against the 8 ball.
Showtime, let's go to work. Last year, nearly 500 L.A. cops either retired or quit, the biggest manpower loss ever for the department.
But I'm
Watch
learning,
the old guys.
I'm learning things from you.
Retired squad officer Rick Kalbaugh would have once been proud to see his son Chris follow him onto the LAPD.
I've got a young son, 25 years of age, that's passed all of his tests for the Los Angeles Police Department, ready to go on, and I'm discouraging him.
Me too.
Kalbaugh would rather see his son wear a badge someplace where cops are still respected, like right here in Blue Heaven. In Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, John Blackstone for Eye on America.
Coming up next, the world goes windows shopping. Also tonight, this magic moment and the man who preserved it for life.
Take a good look through new Transitions comfort lenses. The new lightweight plastic prescription lenses with a special tint that lightens and darkens as the light changes. The only lightweight plastic lenses that darken and lighten just like that. It's comfort you can see day or night, inside or outside. Ask for new Transitions comfort lenses and see for yourself. They're right in any light.
Americans are more confused
about what to eat,
more confused about cholesterol, about saturated
fat, about what to eat.
Remember when life was simple? All you had to worry about was 3 square meals a day, and you knew what to eat just by the way it tasted. Well, we've made it simple again with Promise Bread. It has less of what you don't want, and now more of what you do. A new, creamy, fresh taste. So make life simple for yourself. Get Promise and get smart.
You get your cheesesteak in no time, you eat it in no time, you get heartburn in no time. Same with Relief, you want it in no time.
Not with this. Tried Pepsid AC, took over an hour to start working. You could serve the whole lunch crowd in that time.
And honey, you don't have that long. Try Tums, it starts working in seconds to help relieve heartburn fast. And Tums has calcium.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
So if you want to get rid of heartburn fast, not slow, let me put it to you this way.
Tums. Raymond, you look constipated.
Here we go.
You should take Phillips Milk of Magnesia.
Says who?
For gentle overnight relief, doctors say they'd take Phillips Milk of Magnesia most. Raymond.
Told you.
Phillips. Doctors know best.
I remember when the only choice was aspirin. Next came Tylenol. And now there's Aleve. For me, the choice is Advil. Nothing is proven to work better or last longer than Advil. Nothing.
Advanced medicine for pain.
Fewer than 4% of the world's people own a personal computer, and not all of them went out shopping today for a new operating system. It just seemed that way. With the help of a $200 million publicity campaign, the opening of Windows 95 was a global event. In New Zealand, where midnight comes before almost anywhere else in the world, a 19-year-old became the first to buy the celebrated new system. Thousands more followed across the global village,
Check out Windows 95!
lured by the promise of modernizing their computer programs.
Welcome, Microsofties.
With some high-priced help, Microsoft founder Bill Gates demonstrated the system via satellite from Seattle. His modest claim, Windows 95 will change the world.
Windows 95 is so easy, even a talk show host can figure it out.
Windows is designed for home users and sells for about $90. Gates said he expects to make more money from an Office version, selling for $500. The photojournalist Alfred Eisenstadt died today at the age of 96. Even if you don't recognize the name, you will certainly recognize his work. Anthony Mason reports on the man who took some of the most famous pictures in America's photo album.
By his own account, Alfred Eisenstadt took more than 1 million pictures, but the man friends affectionately called Eisy always knew what his epitaph would be.
Here lies the man, the photographer, who shot the VJ Day picture on Times Square.
He was a pioneer in photojournalism, a photographer with impeccable instincts.
This picture in 1927 started my career.
German by birth, he sold his first photo for a few dollars to a Berlin newspaper and left behind an unhappy career as a button salesman.
When I started photography in the late 20s, nobody could help me because nobody was there to tell me anything. I had to try everything myself.
Emigrating to America in 1936, he was hired by a new magazine called Life. 86 times the cover would feature his photographs. He worked quickly with natural light and no props, striving to become a fly on the wall.
Okay, I have it.
Eisy was a very good fly. His composition was absolutely perfect. He could not take a bad photograph.
I didn't think, Eisenstadt said, I just photographed. If you think, it's too late. In an instant, he froze the excitement of a Paris puppet show. Waiters watching Sonia Henney skate. He caught Churchill napping before Churchill's son tapped him to attention. And a father and daughter. To Eisenstadt's former assistant, this image says,
I like you, which is of course exactly what Eisy brought out from anybody. Nobody disliked Eisy.
He never really retired. Even into his 90s, Eisy was still going to his office at Life to sort through a portfolio he was proud of. Sometimes, he said, I can't believe I did all these things. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
And that's the CBS Evening News. Later on Eye to Eye, body shop ripoffs. See why the car you drive out may be more dangerous than the one you brought in. Then follow the heroin highway from Southeast Asia to the United States. Join Dan Rather for 48 Hours, The Heroin Connection. I'm John Roberts, CBS News, New York. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
CBS News. Have you seen your country today?